Hello and welcome to GS Podium. Today we will discuss asymptotic notations. Asymptotic notations are the mathematical way of representing the time complexity. Already we had talked about prior analysis in which without execution we analyze the algorithm. Now if we want to calculate time without execution, we calculate the number of times the statement runs, that is iteration, or we call it frequency. So to find the number of times we need some notations that would be used to represent in a proper way the time complexities of various different algorithms and to identify which one is better. So we have big O notation, big omega notation, theta notation, and except this we have little o and little omega notation. Asymptotic notations are used to represent the time complexities of algorithms. So if we analyze the algorithms and study them by the execution of their statements, then we may get time complexities any one among these. It may be constant, logarithmic, linear, quadratic, cubic, exponential. These are some of the known time complexities. Any algorithm we take, time complexities may be any one among these or a combination of these or multiples of these. Time complexity is a function describing the amount of time required to run an algorithm in terms of size of the input. Time can mean the number of memory accesses performed, the number of comparisons between integers, the number of times some inner loop is executed, or some natural unit related to the amount of real time the algorithm will take. And space complexity is a function describing the amount of time an algorithm takes in terms of size of the input to the algorithm. Space complexity is sometimes ignored because the space used is minimal or obvious. However, sometimes it becomes an important issue as time. Let's look at some algorithms and try to find their time complexities from the number of statements and frequency of their execution. For example, algorithm add a comma b return a plus b. So this statement return a plus b takes 1 unit of time. So let's say if fn is the function of time taken, then fn is equal to 1, which is a constant value. Another example, algorithm sum a comma n, sum equals to or s equals to 0, where I equals to j to n do s equals to s plus a of I return s. Now here we'll calculate the unit of time per statement and we calculate the function of time fn equals to 2n plus 3, which is a linear polynomial. Now let's discuss big O notation. Big O notation gives us the worst case time complexity. It defines an upper bound of an algorithm. Let's look at the graph. We have n across the x-axis and t across y-axis, where n is input values, t is time, c is constant. Let's say to solve any problem, time taken or the function is fn. Now fn is written in order of gn. Fn equals to order of gn, or fn is less than equal to c dot gn. Here fn is given, and if we want to represent fn in terms of big O notation, then fn is less than equal to c dot gn. C is greater than 0, n is greater than equals to k, and k is greater than equals to 0. Let's say to solve any problem, total time taken was 4n cube plus 10n square plus 5n plus 1. Now I have to represent Fn in terms of order. So Fn is equal to order of Gn. The value of Fn is already known, but the value of Gn is not known. Now to choose the value of n, big O notation always talks about the upper bound or at most value. That is, for completion of any task, max to max how much time is required, that is big O notation. Now in 4n cube plus 10n square plus 5n plus 1, check which one of these values is a big term. Out of n cube, n square, n cube is dominating. So the value of Gn is n cube. Last but not the least, for selecting the value for the constant, we have to validate the equation, that is Fn is less than equals to C dot Gn. So the value of C is chosen accordingly. Hence, the complexity of Fn is represented as order of Gn, that is order of n cube. Now let's discuss the little o notation. Little o notation means loose upper bound of Fn, or little o is a rough estimate of the maximum order of growth, where big O means the actual order of growth. Everything is same as big O except the sign. So here Fn is less than C dot Gn. Let's discuss big omega notation. Just as big O notation provides an asymptotic upper bound on a function, big omega notation provides an asymptotic lower bound. Big omega notation gives us the best case time complexity. Let's look at the graph. We have n across the x-axis and t across the y-axis. Here n is input values, t is time and c is constant. Let's say to solve any problem, time taken or the function is Fn. Now Fn is written in order of Gn. Fn is equal to omega of Gn, or Fn is greater than equal to C dot Gn. Here Fn is given. If we want to represent Fn in terms of big omega notation, then Fn is greater than equal to C dot Gn, where C is greater than 0, n is greater than k, and k is greater than 0. For example, let's consider a given function Fn equals to 4n cube plus 10n square plus 5n plus 1. Fn is equals to omega of Gn. 4n cube plus 10n square plus 5n plus 1 is greater than equals to C dot Gn. Considering the value of Gn as n cube, because n cube is dominating among n cube, n square and n. And for the value of a constant, we validate the given equation and select the value accordingly. Hence, the complexity of Fn can be represented as omega of Gn, that is omega of n cube. Now let's discuss little omega notation. The relationship between big omega and little omega is similar to that of big O and little o, except that now we are looking at the lower bounds. Little omega is a rough estimate of the order of growth, whereas big omega represent the exact order of growth. So little omega is represented as Fn is greater than C dot Gn. Now let's discuss big theta notation. Theta notation bounds a function from above and below, so it defines the exact asymptotic behavior. Theta notation gives us the average case time complexity and also gives us the exact time. Theta notation is represented as C1.Gn is less than equals to Fn less than equals to C2.Gn. Now let us consider a given function fn equals to 4n cube plus 10n square plus 5n plus 1. So fn is equal to theta of gn, which is represented as c1 dot gn less than equal to fn less than equal to c2 dot gn. So here we have to select the value for gn as well as we have to select the value of c1 and c2. The values of C1 and C2 are selected by validating the equation, and the value of Gn is considered as n cube because n cube is dominating above n cube, n square and n. So 4.gn is less than equal to fn less than equal to 5.gn for all the values of n. Hence, the complexity of fn can be represented as theta of gn or theta of n cube. That's all for today's lecture. Thank you. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is GS Podium.